So Antoine, what's it like going out not knowing exactly what tire you're on?
It's a bit weird and it's frustrating. I would like to know, like any rally driver, I guess, when you're going out on the stage and trying to drive fast, you want to know what boots are on, you know?
Welcome back to Team O'Neill for this very special rally tire testing special. Michelin is getting back into the rally space here in North America after a 10-year absence. So what we're gonna do is test that tire against the modern Pirelli tire and the modern Hoosier tire on all-wheel drive rally cars, two-wheel drive rally cars, the medium compounds, the soft compounds. This is going to be the most comprehensive modern rally tire test video on the internet for sure. Behind me today, we've got Antoine Lestage, 10-time Canadian rally champion, 7-time North American rally champion, Chris Sear, who's working up to his first national US rally championship, Tim O'Neill, who needs no introduction. So here's how we're gonna do this. We're gonna have Antoine, in his open class rally car, do a blind comparison of the 3 different tires today and 3 different tires tomorrow. He's not gonna know what tires he's on, and he's gonna set some stage times and give his subjective appraisal of the tires. Then we're gonna do the same thing again with Chris Sear in his 2-wheel drive rally car. All the while, we're gonna have Tim O'Neill here as well, supervising. He's gonna be running ahead of the cars. He's gonna be sweeping the road and making sure that the conditions are accurate and safe and comparable each time we test these tires, that the road conditions haven't changed significantly. At the end of the day, we're gonna have a lot of solid objective data, as well as some, subjective feelings and thoughts about these tires from the drivers. And hopefully that'll be entertaining to watch, as well as give you guys a ton of data if you're looking at any of these rally tires in the future. So let's mount up some tires and go hot.
Please like and subscribe so we can create more content like this for you.
All right, so the only fair way to send Antoine out on Hoosiers, Pirellis, or Michelins is simply just to draw the name out of a hat. So the first tire that Antoine is gonna be going out on is Pirellis. The second tire is going to be Hoosiers, and the third tire has to be Michelin's. Let's do it.
Course is hot.
PSI.
All right, so we got some laps in, got some time in the car. We got some pretty consistent times. You were within about a second each lap, which was really good.
Interesting.
What did you feel about the tires and the road and everything?
It felt pretty good actually. Towards the last few laps, it was sliding a little bit more in places, but the road was starting to get chewed up a bit also. So it's maybe more the road than the tires, but no, overall it felt good.
You'd be happy to go rallying on those
Yeah.
tires?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Let's do it again. All right, so Antoine, back from round 2. How did it go?
I'm tired.
Tired. I saw the times. The times were good. You know, what do you think?
It felt pretty good. Again, I would not say a massive difference, but it felt good. Initial feeling didn't feel much better, but as we got going laps after laps, it just felt a little bit better, and I could feel in the car that it was probably a little bit faster. So you guys probably took the times. Overall, again, it felt pretty good.
Felt pretty good?
Yep.
Okay, sounds good. We'll switch the tires and do it again. All right, so Antoine, back from the 3rd session. What are your thoughts?
That was great. I think that was my best session for sure. No, everything felt really good with these tires. I don't know. Again,
Do you have any predictions? Because you've had 3 sessions now.
Yeah.
We haven't shown you any of the times.
No.
So just purely based on
this
your
was-
feelings.
This was quicker for sure. This was quicker and probably very consistent. No moments where I felt the tires were going away. I could lean on them and it would not slide. It felt strong. Everything felt good. So yeah, really happy with that run.
Okay, very good. We're gonna take you over, we'll sit down, we'll look at all of the tires that we used today, and we'll show you all the times. I just wanna let everybody out there who's watching this video know, Team O'Neill, we genuinely did our best to do a completely blind evaluation here. Antoine at no point knew what tires he was on. Genuinely, the results kind of speak for themselves. What do you think was the first tire you were on?
Well, that's very difficult because I had a decent feeling with the first tire, I remember. So I don't know. Let me know.
The first tire you were on was
Yeah.
the medium Pirellis.
Yeah. Like I said, they felt pretty good, but when I look at them now, they didn't wear much. So probably a bit of a harder compound for sure. The K4.
Yep.
Also, that was the first run. Probably I was driving maybe not as hard as the other two sessions, if I'm totally honest.
Of course.
Because as we drove, if anybody did ever any testing in a rally car on a rally road, you get to a point where you know the road really well. So so that was the first time. So I'm sure the times are maybe not as good, but overall, they didn't feel bad. I have nothing bad to say.
Very
about
good.
that.
Yeah, your times were 240, 239, 238, 239, 240, 240, 239, around that range.
Okay.
which is, you know, very respectable, of course, a very fast time for that. But when you switch to the Hoosier,
Yep.
your times got better. And what's interesting, what you said was at first they didn't feel great,
Yep.
but they got better,
Yeah.
and then maybe fell off again a little.
Yep.
And that's exactly what the times look like. 237, 236, 235.
Yeah.
Faster, 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 but then 236.9, 236
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
So faster, faster, and then dropped off a little.
Yeah, those for the second loop. Again, I was driving a bit faster, knowing the road a little bit better, but still I remember the second set, I felt a couple of places near the end, like a bit of understeer, and the tires were maybe going away a little bit, but you look at the wear, it's not so bad. Again, it felt decent.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and they're very good.
Yeah.
You know, it's a damn respectable tire.
Yep, yeah,
and
for sure.
you set some very good times with it. But then switching to the Michelin,
Yep.
you set 233, 234, 234, 233, 233.
Okay.
So the fastest times of the day for sure, by a significant margin.
That's what it felt with these tires. It felt it stayed the same. I was pushing, and it felt the same. Didn't have any moments where I felt the tires were going away. So, yeah.
Didn't have the same understeer towards the end
Yep,
like you felt
no,
with this.
No, didn't feel that. So, felt strong in the rough stuff also, and felt good on braking. Yeah, overall, very good. Yeah. No, really happy the way it turned out. Again, it was something I had never done, to try 3 tires back to back like this. So thanks to you guys, and yeah.
All right, so that was all of the 3 medium compound tires compared. And then tomorrow morning, we're gonna drive some soft compound tires and see what we can find there.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Let's do it. All right, so let's pick the order of tires we're going to use here on day 2. These are all the soft compound tires. We've got Michelin, Pirelli, Bugs, and Hoosier going in the hat. Which one are we going to run first? Pirelli, again. Which one are we going to run second? Michelin, which means we're going to be running the Hoosiers third. So we've got all these tires mounted up and we're ready to go. We'll get Antoine in the car and mount up, this time, the Pirellis, and then the Michelins, and then the Hoosiers. All right, Antoine, so first lap out today. I saw the times are good. Strangely, it's about the same times as yesterday, even the loop's longer. But what are your thoughts after driving the car?
Faster loop for sure, so the road is different than yesterday. Felt really good, very nice road. Definitely I could feel that it's way warmer today. For those who are watching, it's warmer than what we did yesterday. The loop is a little bit longer. The grip was going away. The rear of the car was a bit less stable. It felt like if we had to keep going again and again and again, maybe
Make a change.
would be in
check
trouble.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, very
So-
good. Excellent. Yeah, again, thanks for being a good sport. We're going to change your tires and we'll go back out. $127. 36. What did you think that time?
Way more consistent. Didn't have the same feeling that I had with the previous set.
Sure.
Times are probably a little bit better also, but I think it's because I know the road a little bit more.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's warmer, so I'm sure that the tires worked a bit,
Yeah.
but I didn't feel them go away. So it felt pretty good.
Okay. Felt similar in the beginning as they did at the end?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And felt in general?
Good feeling all the way. It feel like I could have kept going, you know,
Sure.
similar pace.
Okay.
So
Very good. Any other observations or thoughts you had?
again, they're all gravel tires. For people listening, it's not day and night. It's not like we're on a tarmac tire and suddenly go, and there could be some preference between drivers also. I drive straight. I'm more of a smooth, drive straight, go down the road type of driver. I'm a bit less sideways, so sometimes maybe a tire will feel better for me, but might not be the same for somebody else.
Sure.
So anyway, these one felt pretty good.
Very good.
Let's see what happens next.
Let's do it again. All right, Anton, third lap around. What do you think now?
Yeah, it went really well. I thought these tires felt really good. I would say I had a similar feeling to the set before. Okay. Didn't feel the tires go away. Pretty consistent all the way. Times were probably maybe a little bit faster or similar to the second time.
Sure.
The road is maybe a little bit faster at the moment. It's definitely drier, and there's a clean, nice, hard packed line. But I tried to be as consistent as possible. But yeah, no, it felt these tires felt pretty good.
Okay, fantastic. That's all we need to know. So we'll wrap up and we will compare the actual times and fill him in on everything in just a couple minutes here. All right, Antoine, so once again, thank you for being such a good sport and 2 long days in the car testing rally tires. What do you think?
Yeah, it was awesome. Always good to be in a rally car. So yeah, really loved that.
Well, I have your results. The first tire that you were on was the Pirelli. And you did, in general, you averaged lap time was 2:44.8.
Okay.
Which is a damn respectable time. It's much faster than I could go down that road. But your second laps were with the Michelin. Your average lap was 2:42.9. Okay. So you were averaging 2 seconds faster per lap on that tire. And again, that's over 2.5 miles. Your third session out was on the Hoosiers. And your average lap time with those was 2:41.8. So it was 1 second faster over 2.5 miles.
Yeah.
On the Hoosier, labeled as medium, but actually soft compound tires.
Yeah. Well, you can see that both the Hoosiers and the Michelin worked pretty similar in terms of tire wear, I would say.
Yep.
The Pirelli, I guess.
We measured the durometer of these 3 tires before the test, and the Pirelli is harder.
Yeah.
The Pirelli is noticeably harder, and the other 2 are softer. These 2 are comparable durometer, but this one just, for a medium compound, it is a harder tire.
And this one felt like it was going away near the end, so it was probably just
the pressures.
High pressure. Yeah. Pressure went high.
You started at 30 PSI, and over the course of 4 laps, I don't have the numbers on me, but they were at like 38 PSI.
Yeah. Versus the other ones didn't go that high.
They also went fairly high.
They're all gravel rally tires. Maybe some tires suit my style better. I think I would not say that because the Pirellis were slower today.
No.
At the beginning, they're not good tires.
And do they last longer, it looks like.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Potentially. And so there's so many variables. You know, the temperature gradually increasing throughout the day. The road conditions we're doing our absolute best. You know, we've got a full road crew out there trying to make it exactly the same, but of course it's going to be slightly different over the course of the day. You know the car better, you know the roads better, you're less gas in the tank. You know, there's a lot of variables that we're not controlling very specifically. But yeah, these 2 fared very similar. You know, the big gap was between those 2 and that one.
Yep.
Which was a little slower, but held up better. So there's that, you know.
Very interesting.
Good day, man. Yeah, yeah. Thank you again.
Tried my best. Next time we don't do it blind.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Wyatt.
This is the second part of our rally tire testing series. Today we're going to have Chris Sear driving his two-wheel drive Ford Fiesta Turbo rally car with a mix of different rally tires against the stopwatch to see which ones are best. All right, so let's draw tires. Medium compound, two-wheel drive. The first tire we're going to test is going to be Hoosier. The second tire we're going to test is going to be, there's holes in the helmet, Michelin. And the third tire, therefore, has to be Pirelli. We'll get those mounted up on the car and see what happens. All right, so Chris, first session out, you did about 14 miles of rough rally stage. What do you think?
I feel like one of the stages I definitely had a slower time because I got offline a little bit. So some of my driving on one of the stages I didn't feel was perfect. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of the times was off, and I don't think that was tire related, it was driver related. But the rest of them felt consistent. You know, I just needed to get more experience. So yeah, I think it was good overall.
Yeah, I got nothing for you. Like you said, pretty consistent with the times. We got a good baseline. We're gonna swap tires and see what happens. All right, so Chris, I got your times. What do you think? How do you feel?
Yeah, this set of tires I could definitely feel climbing the hills and more in the loose, because this stage is a little more loose than the first stage we did. And this tire's biting through the looser material faster. And I could feel it there's jumps on the back end of this stage here. And the first set I wasn't clearing the jumps, but I could feel getting air on this time. So which tells me I'm getting more speed up to the jump. And then there's a hill climb, so I wouldn't be surprised to know if my times were faster than the last time. But the rest of it felt good. All the corners, everything else, really comparable. But I definitely really noticed it when it was the loosest material.
All right, good to know. Well, we got the numbers. We're gonna switch tires one more time on you. Okay. And send you right back out.
All right, let's do it.
Three left, into three right. Three left, into three right.
All right, well, I've got all of your data, and I'm here to answer any questions you might have, and we'll put it on the screen for everyone curious. On the medium tires, we had Michelins and Hoosiers and Pirellis. Again, completely objectively, Michelin won the day.
Wow.
Hoosier was in second place and Pirelli was in third place.
Okay. What was the order of the tires?
So you ran the Hoosiers and then the Michelins and then the Pirellis.
Wow. Okay. So the Hoosiers being first, yeah, okay. I was faster on those than I was with the Pirellis, and I was faster again on the Michelins.
Exactly right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were quick on the Hoosiers and, consistent, 252s, 51s, 250s. You were within a couple seconds over the course of a 2.5 mile run. So that's very consistent, I'd say.
Yeah.
And then consistently quicker on the Michelins. You were in the 249s, 250s. But then, yeah, onto the Pirellis, you were 252, 253, 254, 254, 253. So the only caveat I'd have for that, just again objectively, the Pirelli K4 is their medium compound general purpose tire. They do make a KM4, which is the mud variant. The M's for mud, which is just a little more open and does work better on a loose surface. If you had the K4s and the KM4s and you could change in between and predict that, there's something to be said for that. They do offer a tire for more loose conditions, but as a general purpose rally tire, you know, the Michelins, the Hoosiers, and the Pirellis, yeah, interesting to see. All right, so quietly while we've got a second, we're gonna draw which tire is gonna go first here for the soft two-wheel drive tire comparison. We've only got Pirellis and Michelins. The first tire we're gonna go on, which means the second tire we're gonna go on
And 3 left over brow. 3 left for brow.
All right, Chris, first session out on the unknown tires. What do you think? What do you feel?
Yeah, so for me on this one, the downhills I felt like I could carry more speed downhill. So I was more confident coming downhill. Coming up the hills though, it felt like I was trying to pull something along, or I'm just, you know, felt some weight in the tires that I don't think I felt before. So I'm excited to compare and see if that was just in my mind,
Sure.
you know, now that I've done enough runs. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, grip of the road and carrying my lines and everything else, it felt great. So just
Awesome.
that was the only real big notice that I had, was like the downhills felt faster and the uphills felt a little slower.
Faster on the downhills. Okay, sounds good. I got your times. I can't tell you what they are,
All right.
but I can tell you they're very consistent,
Yes, that's perfect.
which is what we're going for. So, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't feel like fade over time or anything. There was one run I got a little offline, but that was a driver error, not a tire error. But
Sure.
otherwise, yeah, no, like the course is staying consistent and I'm able to carry my speed, so.
Good grip from the start, and the grip didn't change.
Correct.
Awesome. Love to hear it. We'll swap your tires out and do it again.
All right, let's do it.
Into 4 left over crest.
Check. All right, so I got your times. You can't see them yet. How do you feel like you did?
It felt consistent. I felt fast. Like the last run, I felt fast going down the hill. I felt just as fast, or maybe even a little faster coming down the hills.
Cool.
Pulling up the hill, it felt a little faster. And in that last run, I thought I was going a little slower, but I started to sweep off, like I was getting to the edge of the limit of the tires. So either my tires overpressurized, or I was going faster than I thought, or something happened on that last run that I think is more of a driver than a tire issue.
Yeah, so I can't tell you your times, but I can say you were very, very consistent for 3 runs, and then the last run you were about 1.5 seconds quicker.
Okay, yeah, that's me getting comfortable with the course. I would not say that the tires had much to play with
The
that.
tires didn't change between the first 3 laps. I wouldn't
No.
think. Really, really good. All right, so Chris, I got your times. But first, which tire do you think you were on first, and which do you think you were on second?
I think I was on the Michelin's first, only because I know the Michelin's are a little bit bigger, and I felt like a heavier tire in the wheel.
You were on the Michelin first. For those of you that are out there, the exact difference in size between the 2 tires, the Michelin is about 1 inch taller in overall height. So you were consistently on this tire, 257.3, 257.4, 257.7, 257.69.
Wow.
This guy, you were 258.5, 258.48, 258.41, and then you had a Speedy Gonzalez moment and set at 256.8. But the overall, out of the 4 stages essentially, that tire was 2.12 seconds faster. The Hoosier was not available in the soft compound in the US right now for us to try. Yeah, that's the soft compounds.
Cool.
All right, so first and foremost, going into this with 11 sets of rally tires, blind testing, a few different professional drivers, we set out to do the most comprehensive rally tire test that's ever been publicly done. This is something that, you know, top racing teams may do quietly, but nobody has ever made these results public before. And we genuinely have tried to do this in a completely impartial way to the absolute best of our abilities, and I feel like now that we're at the end of it, we've accomplished that. Antoine and Chris never knew what tires they were on. They're just going out and doing their best with the amount of grip that they have. And we've got all the results from that testing. And the results are also very consistent between Antoine and Chris, you know, which tires were faster, which tires were slower, and the amount slower that they were are also eerily similar. Now, that being said, Michelin's up here. The Michelin tire was the fastest across the board. There were a few times here from the Hoosier with Antoine that were a little quicker at that certain temperature range. That's great to see. Hoosier is a budget tire here in the States, so that's a great takeaway for, you know, teams on a budget and that kind of thing. It's good to know that those Hoosier tires aren't very far off. What was surprising to all of us, and you know, if you're into rally and you're watching this, it's probably surprising to you, is how far behind the pace the Pirellis were. Now that might paint the picture that the Pirelli is just a worse tire. That's not necessarily true. One factor that we don't have data for here is long distance, hard abuse longevity. So there are no winners, there are no losers. There's just really interesting data. And hopefully, as a viewer, you can see that. And yeah, the Hoosier is definitely the budget surprise, and the Pirelli is a little bit slower, but has that longevity potentially. Again, we haven't done long distance testing over the course of these tests where we're running 10 stage miles with the addition of the shakedowns and a couple of sort of recce passes and things. These tires don't have more than 20 race miles on them. And they all show pretty negligible wear. Thanks again for watching. Please like the video. It took a long time to make. Consider subscribing to the channel. And yeah, be safe out there, have fun, and we'll catch you next time.